jacked it up. Um, so it's a myriad of topics I wanted to talk on, but sports, how they relate to life. I'm gonna start there. How sports relate to life. When we look at the athletes of today and we see how they speak on past greats that paved the way for them. You had LeBron James literally come up and say, Giannis, he would drop 250 points. 250 points. You put him back in the 70s. Like, this is what he was saying. And it's like, you really think, do you forget who played in the 70s? Kareem, Wilt, all those guys played in the 70s. There's no way Giannis is doing that. It's 48 minutes in a game. You know the scoring rate he had, so you just think he would just easily every single time just go up the court and just dunk on everybody. Because that's what they have to do. Wilt Chamberlain scored 100 points. Wilt Chamberlain. You know how strong that man was, how much he weighed, how tall he was. He was a freak athlete. This man didn't score 250 points. But you think Giannis. This is the disrespect. And it just shows you in life. This is why I talk about self-validation and self-love and self-worth, because you see no matter what you do in this life, if you're not doing it for the glory of God, you're not doing it because it's something that you passionate about, that you love, that you do it because you actually love what you do. Then and you're only doing it for the validation of others, then they can just easily just tear you down. I never understood. That's why I look at at LeBron, like, why do you want to be the GOAT so bad? Why do you want everybody to call you the GOAT so bad? It's on shaky ground. You already saying that the 70s is irrelevant. There's people that saying the 80s and 90s is irrelevant. How long do you think it would take if we keep that mentality? When you're out the league, it won't be 5 years before everybody will erase you and be like, you was a dinosaur. Look at what this man, they're going to scrutinize. They already scrutinize you as it is. They're really going to be scrutinizing you, and you won't be just getting it from us little small YouTube channels and NBA fans. You're going to be getting it from the current players of that time. Because they looked at you. They watching you. They watch you just take a dump on the previous generation. They just watched you do that. And people be like, well, they do it to us. When do we understand that that's why I dropped that video yesterday. When do we get to a place where we understand how other people behave should not dictate how you behave? You not from the standpoint of I'm going to stoop the same level as them. You can change how you move around them, but if you have that high class, you have high character, you're going to have high class and high character no matter what they say. Who cares what they say? If you're a respectful person and you respect your elders, you're going to respect your elders even if they're not always respectful. There's been times where I've seen people that were raised that way, we bite our tongues even when someone that's older, because we have been taught to respect those that came before us. And we want that same thing, that same karma, that same good energy to come back to us. We don't sit there and blame them. And some people be like, well, if people disrespectful to you, then no, you decide for yourself, because other people are watching. God is watching. Even if it ain't about other people, God is watching. Your kids are watching. Whoever look at you, never know who's watching you at that moment. You want to stay in your character, who you are, even if it takes you walking away. Sometimes you say, but these people's real side is coming out. You see it. Their cockiness, their arrogance. This man talks as if he invented basketball. Him and JJ Redick. Both of them talk as if they invented basketball. The right way. Those guys right there, they wasn't very smart. But let somebody now come on now. Where's my pro-black people at? Where y'all at? I thought y'all said I can't say nothing against this man because he's a black man. But he just disrespected 70s players, which include black brothers. They have no problem. But they talk about the older generation. They're saying the way y'all play now, and it's true. Y'all know it's true. Y'all know it's true. Deep down in your hearts, you know the game is different. It's more freed up. The rules dictate that. Adam Silver has already let the cat out the bag. He made the rules easier for you guys to score. Your longevity is increased because of it. Football is less physical. I don't see Patrick Mahomes getting offended by this. Tom Brady knows football has changed. I don't see him getting offended by this. They've changed the game. It is what it is. Some things are changed to improve the sport. They took fighting out of it because of what it did to the culture. Don't sit there and lie and pretend like you don't know that they changed the rules for y'all. You don't see NFL players get that be offended by the fact that they're not getting their head taken off anymore. It's a different generation. I feel like all greats can play in any era. All greats can play in any era. Giannis could play back in the day. Kareem could play today. Jordan could play today. Jerry West could play today. Steph Curry could go back then. He would just have to adapt his game. Certain skills are going to translate. Certain things you're just going to have to change because the play style is totally different. Your role would be different. It took other greats to change the way they even thought. The philosophy is different. It doesn't mean you guys are smarter. If that's the case, then why LeBron James want Pat Riley come back? He's a 70s player. Why you want 70s player to coach your team? I thought you guys knew more. Why don't you? That's why I said, why don't he just coach the team himself? It makes zero sense. He from the 70s. He old school. Why would you want him to be your coach? Why y'all complaining he ain't have Phil Jackson? He wouldn't respect Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson is from the 70s. He's from a different generation. They couldn't hoop. They wasn't smart. They were just bigger and stronger and faster. But that's what they say about y'all generation. That's why I'm like, you pay respect. You pay it forward. You pay respect to those that came before you. And the next generation, they're watching you. These guys believe, whether we like it or not, guys look up to LeBron. Guys look up to LeBron. People look up to a lot of people that they shouldn't. Yes, Pat was proven. It didn't matter what era he came from, dude. He played in the 70s, is my point. He has his basketball knowledge. Fundamentals translate. Running plays translate. You think those guys didn't run plays back in the day? You think those guys didn't know the fundamentals of the game? The fundamentals of the game are the fundamentals of the game. They're going to go all the way around. No matter what, the fundamentals stay true. You have to have the basic fundamentals. Any guy that used those fundamentals today would be successful. That never changes. Yes, now you can do fancy dribbling and all that, but the end goal is to score a basket and to stop the opponent. Doesn't matter how fancy your moves are. It doesn't. If somebody can beat you with 2 dribbles, you be like, oh, he's not as skilled as that guy. I saw him do 10 of them, and he was going behind his back and all that. But what if you didn't need all that? What if all you had to do was a couple dribbles and you there? Yeah, the older players are not just criticizing this era. They're criticizing the mentality, bruh. It's not just this era. That's the point you miss. A lot of people, they're so fixated on being offended that they don't understand constructive criticism. We all have to go through constructive criticism. The game, the product as a whole is suffering. The ratings are suffering. The way the game is played, the mentality of the players. I mean, they're millionaires. It's hard to tell them anything. It's like Kanye West when he did that song. No, you can't tell me nothing. Ha ha. You can't tell me nothing. The younger players was dissing the older players before then. A lot of people, I don't understand. That's why I said what I said. You must have been paying, young disciple. Let me go back and let me go back over it again. How somebody else behave doesn't dictate how you behave. You choose how you behave. Your character is your character, regardless. Michael Jordan, you don't think the older generation, what was they saying about MJ? Will Chamberlain said, Michael Jordan, you couldn't do that back in our day. They said the same thing to him. And what did he do? He still paid respect. I don't want to hear these excuses. Bruh, no, LeBron hasn't. You sitting up here straight up lying now. You straight up lying now, bro, because that is not true. LeBron don't be showing respect. He said that one right there made me the greatest player of all time. He was saying slick stuff all the time. You just a fan, so you're not gonna pay attention to it. It probably don't even fit. It probably don't even affect you. It don't even offend you at all, cause you cool with everything he say. Let me see some of these chats. I saw somebody else. Yeah, the old heads were reacting. Yeah, people gonna hear what they want to hear. At the end of the day, I stand by what I said. He shouldn't have said nothing. He chose to. You know good and well, ain't no 250 points. MJ is his father figure. Of course he uplifts MJ, but he's even thrown this at him, thrown this at MJ. He did. I seen it. Do y'all talk about games or just hating irrelevant stuff? I mean, if you pay attention to the channel, you would understand that I'm talking about more than just hating irrelevant stuff. But do you watch the shorts? Do you watch the other stuff? Because it doesn't matter what I say. At the end, that's why I don't be worried about it. But I'm just letting you know. No, we don't just talk about hate. But as that was the most promoted, was you tripping when LeBron said that Giannis would score 250? Did you say, why is this man spreading hate? Did you go at him on X and say, why are you saying these hateful things? That has nothing to do with the game of basketball. Teach us the game of basketball. Isn't that what the mind the game was supposed to be? Teaching us the game of basketball. But I'm going to cover these things because this is life. You ain't got to like it. It's life. It's more than just about the game of basketball. It's how sports relate to life. This man got up on there and was talking as if he knew more basketball than those that played before him or anybody else. He's not the only guy with a basketball IQ. Different people see the game differently. Steve Nash got a good mind. I'm glad he got him on there. He has a great mind. There's lots of people that sit up there and they know the game. When you're that arrogant, this is about life. It don't matter how much I know, I can always learn from others. You don't think I learn from these comments? I learn from my wife. I learn from my kids. I learn from my parents. We can learn from everybody. You don't know it all. And you shouldn't be so arrogant to be like, these guys don't know the right way to play the game. JJ Redick do the same thing. These dudes sit there and they talk down on previous generations. JJ Redick got up on TV and was talking about those guys. So don't just say it's the older generation. The younger generation been talking that cash about it. The older generation too. It's been coming from both sides. Because they're seeing you guys sit up here. They've heard them say the same thing. You guys sit up here and act as if y'all invented basketball. Y'all sit there and talk about previous eras. It's on both sides. We've seen it. It's not a one-sided fight, but we've also saw guys that have paid respect. Why are you only paying attention to and I said it's the both, like, why are you didn't you hear Larry Bird pay respect to this current generation? I've never heard Michael Jordan say anything sideways about anybody. Magic Johnson, they're just saying if you're gonna talk that cash, you gotta earn it. You got guys now that ain't won nothing. Ja Morant, I could beat Michael Jordan one-on-one. That's just my confidence. It's not confidence, bro. No other current league shits on the Yeah, it's true. You are absolutely right. We love NFL. You still see them pay respect to Jim Brown. You don't hear them dudes like Jim Brown couldn't play today. Jim Brown, man, he just looked good because it was those white dudes. He was playing against white dudes. It is there a dude guy entitled brass. Like, that's what they say. Yes, Kobe would actually play Jordan one-on-one. And Kobe had one by there too. But he always had that. He did have that level of confidence. Correct the mundo. He never said he would cook him, but he thought he could beat him. It's a difference between beating somebody and cooking somebody. Kobe has earned his thing. He was competitive. And he was down to prove it. And he would say to MJ's face. And it was close to when he really was Kobe's first three, just trying to diminish his entire legacy. Yeah, Kobe wanted to earn it. Kobe wanted to prove he could win without Shaq. He had Paul Gasol as his second best teammate in the tougher Western Conference. Went to 3 straight championships. Y'all, it's like revisionist history when it comes to Kobe. Revisionist history. There was a time when the league, I pulled up old videos just to make sure I wasn't because they try to gaslight you. They sit there and try to gaslight you. You say it was Shaq's team. When I grew up in that era. I remember it was Shaq and Kobe. That nobody thought it was just Shaq. No one was saying that even at that time. People feared Shaq and Kobe. Dudes who had Kobe Bryant shoes, even when they was the little square ones. We used for Reebok. Or was that Adidas? I think it was Reebok, though. Reebok, no, I think it was Adidas. But yeah, Kobe and Shaq were closer. They were like this is looking at Magic Johnson and Kareem. Kareem got 6 championships. Do we look at him like, well, is he really a 6-time champion? That was Magic's team. Magic, are you really a 5-time champion? You had Kareem on your team. No one says that because they know those dudes were that close. Both of them are top 5 players and on a lot of lists. This is the same thing with Kobe and Shaq. LeBron lays his praise and immediately his victory. That's how they do. Everything he do is wonderful. They love him so much they made an R&B song. Shaq and Kobe were that close. You could say for that first championship, but Kobe still contributed a lot. I don't know if people forgot the series against the Pacers. Go back and watch what Kobe was doing. He was definitely feared in 2001 when they dominated the playoffs and only lost 1 game to Allen Iverson. And by the time they got to J. Kidd, it was over. Kobe was not just this Robin. He was not Scottie Pippen, and that's no knock on Scottie. Scottie was a phenomenal player, great player. But no one saw him and Jordan like that. But you definitely saw that with Kobe and Shaq. Kobe was not a Robin. It was like Batman and Flash or Batman and Superman. That's how it was. Even Shaq, that's why Shaq was like, he's the best player on the planet. Even if he didn't really believe it, he knew Kobe was that guy. He was coming. He was a top player in the league. Arguably number 2 behind Shaq. It wasn't too many guys that was touching Kobe. Tracy McGrady tried for it. Vince Carter tried for it. Allen Iverson tried for it. But Kobe ended up being that dude. He was considered the best player. Yes, that's why he needed to prove it away from Shaq. Yeah, he wanted to, because after Scottie, he saw how Scottie was done. As great as Scottie was a great basketball player. He's underrated by haters. And he's overrated by the LeBron fans. But at the end of the day, Scottie Pippen was that dude, but he did not get the credit that he felt like he deserved. He wasn't treated like Magic and Kareem. And Kobe didn't want to fall victim to that. He's like, he won, because everybody gonna look at it. Shaq won 3 finals MVPs. Does that take away from the importance of what Kobe was doing? It does not. Pippen didn't get as much credit as he wanted. That's what I'm saying. I ain't saying Pippen didn't get credit, because I remember how much people love Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen, people buying Scottie Pippen jerseys and everything. Scottie Pippen was getting props even back then. The way they talked about Jordan gave Scottie his props. But he wanted to be the guy. And that was Kobe. He wanted to be the guy. And Pippen felt, been bitter about it this whole time. These ain't new feelings that he having. It's feelings he's always had. Yeah, if it wasn't for that migraine, they'd have 7 rings. Because they were coming for the Pistons, and that's what I keep trying to tell people. That's the beauty of Jordan's story. When you look at it, I was talking about this before the video I had cut off. But when you look at it, and we gonna get to the Pippen thing too. When you look at it, yeah, Jordan definitely gave Pippen his props. He gave him probably more props than he deserved. But Bill Russell, you look at George Mikan, 5 championships. Bill Russell won 11 championships in 13 years. Team of Hall of Famers. Bird and Magic both got on historically great franchises. Like, you got on the Celtics. Bird is on the Celtics. And he got Parrish and McHale and Ainge. He got a squad. Even the Pistons end up having a squad. The Lakers got Magic. What's the chances of Magic Johnson, arguably the best college player in the world at that time? Him and Bird were the 2 best college players. And he goes to play with Kareem. Jordan got on a team of cokeheads. And he took that team of cokeheads and he was able to build through that franchise, and they started whittling out those guys. Take Scottie Pippen, a guy from Central Arkansas, and Horace Grant, and you go out and win championships. And it wasn't against scrub teams like they try to revise. The Detroit Pistons was loaded. They just won the championship the year before. These guys took them 7 games. They were the only team that was giving them trouble. Even that year that they basically swept, the only 2 games they lost was to the Bulls. So I don't know why Isaiah Thomas like to revise history. Like, they changed the rule for Michael Jordan. They changed the rules for Michael Jordan. That's the only reason why he was able to beat us. Plus, we got old overnight. I don't know how. I was 30. This is basketball, man. I don't know what people expect. What you want me to sit here and write plays on a clipboard for you? It be tripping me out when the fanboys come in. Oh, man, you just go talk about hate. No, it's basketball, man. It's basketball history. It's the respect for history. It's the respect for what has been done, what was accomplished, and telling the true story of how great these players were. LeBron, I'm sure he gonna want his respect. I'm sure these current players, Kevin Durant, gonna want his respect. Steph Curry, all the guys of this era that busted their behinds and made it to the league and won championships, they gonna want it. That's what I said. And I want my respect too. So pay respect to those dudes that came before you too. The main thing you talk about is respect. Who cares what they say? I want my damn flowers. Yup. So pay respect to those that came before you, because they built the game to where it is. It wouldn't be what it is without them. It wouldn't be. I don't care what y'all think about evolution and all this. Y'all know that it doesn't work that way. But Curry wouldn't say, I want my damn respect, because he earned it. He built the Golden State Warriors to what they are. That's how I look at it. Like, in life, we earn our respect by how we carry ourselves. We earn our respect through the hard work. Yeah, he said Curry should have said that in the last Olympics. We earn our respect through the things that we do. And if people don't respect it, you don't beg for it. You just don't worry about those folks. You focus on what's important. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing what you're doing? I feel like your goal, I don't think anybody's goal should be the GOAT. Be honest with you. I think you should be the best that you can be. Be the best player that you can be. Be the best at whatever you do. Try to be the best that you can be. Because it's that when that becomes your focus and your goals, it's so selfish that you're not even concerned about all the other aspects to it. Making the game better for the next generation that's coming up behind you. Set an example for the guys that's going to come into the league and that are watching you. For the kids that's growing up watching you. For the game of basketball itself. Helping the game grow. Helping the game become more entertaining. Helping the game. You help the game through how you carry yourself. And how you play the game. You said, barring any injury, LeBron could play to 50. He probably could. I wouldn't even put it past him, be honest with you. I think that's going to be commonplace. We're going to see, Steph Curry probably ain't going to retire until he's 40 or in his 40s. Kevin Durant could play until his 40s. Like, it's a different game. We're going to see, like, even Tom Brady, it was groundbreaking. There's no way. And this is no knock. Tom Brady, to me, is the greatest quarterback of all time. Some people may disagree with this. But the way they used to play the game, there's no way Tom Brady would have been playing at 45 years old. But they've changed the game in a way, your longevity, you can last longer. They got load management. They got all type of things. Yeah, especially, defense stays like this, it's easy work for him. It's easy work for him. I'm sure there's players of the old generation like, man, all that stuff we went through. Kevin Willis played well into his 40s. Yeah, it's very possible. It's very. LeBron is already 40, so he's gonna be 41. He's still gonna play. I think he'll play till he about 45 himself. Barring anything catastrophic happening to him, I can see him playing. He'll probably end up playing with Bryce. So, and that's just the way we're gonna see that. Like, as time goes on, we're gonna see a lot of players. It's gonna be commonplace to see players play in their 40s. It's not gonna be anything groundbreaking and new. It's just the way the game is played now. In football, we're gonna see quarterbacks play later in their careers. There was a time when there's no way. The way they used to smack quarterbacks around and all that. Yeah, the Lakers are coming back, and they need that. I think basketball, people say they love parity, but most people love to see the dynasty fall. They like to see dynasties build, and then they like to see them fall. Yeah, what LeBron's doing is not really groundbreaking. It seems that way now because he's still playing. He's still putting up his numbers, his usual numbers. And it's really going to these players' head. I saw Kevin Durant get into it with Gary Payton. He said at this time in your career, you was playing, for Miami Heat. Like, you was... like, that's Kevin Durant and Gary Payton. They both was trash-talking each other. And you saw it. And it's like, bruh, if Gary Payton got to play today, he would be playing, and he still would be playing at a high level late. But you can't sit there and take all that physicality and hitting the ground and all that stuff. It's gonna wear and tear on your body. They didn't grow up in an era where you got all this technology and you can recover, and they be like, oh, just sit this one out. They played through injuries, and sometimes they would make it worse. I think Penny Hardaway, if he would have sat down somewhere, his career would have been cut as short as it was. I don't know if y'all remember Penny Hardaway. Those that do, Penny Hardaway, he had got injured. And he played through it. And It made it worse, and he never was able to recover for that. I mean, he was kind of like he was like Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose, unfortunately, went through the same thing. You just, that's the way life goes. Players were not playing, especially the all-time greats. I mean, you had Kareem Magic. If what didn't happen, he might have played longer too. And Bird hurt his back. It was just a different game. And you got you don't got players in the paint, so you got the 3 second in the key. You don't have big men like you used to. It's just a different game. It's different. Like I said, I think all all-time greats can play in any era, but they would have to adjust their game, and they would be like, oh man, I see what they were saying. It's hard to know what people are talking about unless you experience it yourself. It's easy to say. People gonna probably watch dudes on TV and they think, oh, I could beat him. And then you meet them in real life and it ain't like that. Yeah, they love the game. It's a lot of dudes whose careers were cut short because they did play through those. Kobe, man, he when he ruptured his Achilles, he wasn't the same. Because Kobe had a different work ethic. It's hard to tell him not to. And he even played on a ruptured Achilles. You know how hard it is? I ruptured my Achilles. I couldn't walk. I could barely walk. There's no way no. I tried. You can't. Yeah, they don't put their all into it. Yeah, it's a different game. And people forget also, you got 19-year-olds. Most of these guys are one and done. So what do you think is harder? Somebody that's been through college 2-3 years, like that's why when players come into the WNBA, I know it's a different sport, but when they come into the WNBA, it's different because they're going against women with college experience. Yeah, it's raining over here. At the games, they might reach 3. Yeah, you're right. You're playing against guys with college experience. They grow into their grown man body. They learn the fundamentals of the game. Now you got guys that are just coming in out based off of talent. It's not so. LeBron talking about guys didn't really think the game. Yes, they did. They went through college. They played several years of college basketball where they were coached, where they were taught, where their skills were refined. You guys literally can go one and done. Like, how much harder is your league? I'm just trying to understand the logic behind that. How much harder is it if I could be 19 years old and just go in and I'm ready? When guys literally had to spend college years. It was rare. Even when the high school players was jumping, most of them they wasn't thrown into the fire like that. No matter how talented they were, Kobe was talented. Kevin Durant was talented. They was talented enough to be starters. But coaches back then were like, bro, you didn't go to college. You going to have to learn the game. They don't care about you putting up your numbers and your stats. It wasn't until LeBron that it was really like, hey, just come on in. He was given the green light. He wasn't even that efficient. To be that size, and most of his baskets are coming, most of his points are coming right at the basket to score 41% from the field. But he was given that green light. So people are like, oh, he must have been the best because, he came in out of high school. I'm like, he wasn't even that efficient. And you can tell that he had to learn how to win in the NBA. Who knows what he could have done if he went to college? Yeah, he wasn't a good shooter. They don't care enough to play it again. Yeah, they don't. It's a different game. Their love for the game is different. That's why the old school players are so critical of them. It ain't just about hating on them because they making this money and hating on them. No, they're looking at them like, dude, you're getting paid more money than I can dream of. Some of these guys get paid more than guys got paid in 5-10 years in 1 year. And you're sitting out. You're out there lackadaisical. You're dribbling the ball and carrying it like this as you walk up the court. Laissez-faire. You just chucking up threes. People like, you ain't watch the game. I've watched. Every time I watch the game, I can't finish them because I'd be like, this is so boring to me. There's no variety. You guys do the same thing over and over. You can walk around on defense. LeBron James literally be walking around on defense. Don't get back. There's plenty of video evidence. Yeah, they lowered the bar for him. So and then you'll have guys that'll pull up videos from 70s age. They'll try to find the lowest low lights they can find to be like, so you guys were saying. I'm like, dude, we can pull up the same low lights of this era. Guys airball today. The most skilled players of all time, they still airball. LeBron is considered, y'all call him the GOAT. He shot the ball on the side of the backboard multiple times. He's turned the ball over and we can pull up his low lights. Y'all still call him the GOAT. So, yeah, but y'all will go find videos of Jordan and these other players and they no longer the GOAT because they had a low light moment. You just call being human. You're going to have those moments. You're going to have moments. But this man does it on a regular basis. Getting paid more and doing less. Yes. Guys literally will watch somebody else just score the ball. Guys are impressed by the bare minimum nowadays. I see it. You see it even in wrestling now. I started back watching WWE a couple weeks ago just to see what was going on. I heard about the Bloodline storyline, caught up on that, and I just wanted to see what was going on, and I see it. I'm like, these dudes cheer everybody. Everybody gets cheered for everything that they do, even if it doesn't make any sense. Even if the storyline makes zero sense, they cheer. They be like, oh man, that's amazing. It's incredible. They cheer the villains and they cheer the faces. And I look at sports, I look at the NBA, and I'm like, this just reminds me of WWE in a lot of ways. It seems very orchestrated. And you see how the media covers certain things. Somebody said, oh, the media only covers the old heads. I'm like, bruh, since when? They pay respect to the older generation, but most of the time we're hearing about LeBron. That's who we're hearing about. Mostly LeBron. You'll hear about Nikola Jokic. You hear about Giannis here and there. You hear about Luka here and there. You hear about Curry here and there. And now they're talking about SGA more because of the MVP race. But they're not stuck on old school players like that. They bring them up from when it's relevant. If a record gets broken or something like that, they'll talk about them. Stop acting like the new generation doesn't get protected. It's not covered. They are. They're covered to no end. It's just the product itself. People can tell when things are authentic. People can tell when guys are giving their all. That's what we want to see in sports. We want to see competitors. We want to see guys go out there and give their all. We want to see that because we want that in our own lives. It's inspirational to see somebody giving their all. It's inspirational to see somebody overcome the odds because it makes us feel like we can do it too. Ain't that what we all want to see? I know I want that, my life to be like that. I try my best every single day. I wake up and I'm like, how can I be better than I was yesterday? Even with my content, I'm like, okay, let me shake it up some. Let me do some things because I want to inspire people, not just make people feel like, oh, all you do is tear down people. No, I want you to get the message no matter. So if I got to switch it up and add other stuff so you can get the overall picture. Sports teach us, man. Like, I was inspired when I watched Allen Iverson play back in the day. It was inspirational. See this 6-foot guy, 165 pounds with a brick in his pocket. Yeah, that's why people love Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Allen Iverson, man, even though he did that practice thing, and that's what keeps coming up is the practice. When you watched him play on that court, you saw him give his all. People inspired by MJ. Why? Because you saw him give his all. You see the way he carries himself with class. You see him prop up his teammates, even if he got to cuss them out. But let's keep it 100 for those that want to act like that. We all got, when we were growing up, we know our parents used to chastise us. I know my dad used to get up on me. My mama done fussed me out. I done been fussed out. "757 legend, Allen Iverson." Yup. We all know that. If you grew up in a black household, you know your grandparents, they all got on you. Did that mean they didn't love you? We got tough love. Sometimes you do need tough love. You don't always need soft, "Oh, baby, it's going to be." Sometimes you do need that. Sometimes mama is going to have to, but she do it when it needs to be done. You don't always, you got to tell people the truth. So we watch these things in sports. Kobe Bryant, what makes him so inspirational? The Mamba mentality. Here was a guy that was seen as the golden boy when he first came into the league. He was beloved. People loved Kobe. Kobe was seen as the next MJ. He was considered that dude. He said all the right things, and then Colorado happened. That would have broke some people. Yeah, they do want to be coddled now. Yeah, he did have an NBA dad too. That would have broke some people, because we all have dark moments in our lives. We all have dark moments in our lives. We all have made bad choices. We ain't always the victim. We ain't always the perpetrator. But sometimes we create our own chaos in our lives. And Kobe created his own chaos in his life, but it didn't break him. He had to repent for what he did. He had to apologize in front of the world. He went out there and balled. And he rebranded to the Mamba mentality. I can't say what happened between him, and that's between him, God, and that woman. But what I can say is he redeemed himself in a lot of ways. You saw Kobe be a great father. You saw Kobe be a great person. You saw him get better. He had his ways about him, but when it came to basketball and when it came to be inspirational, he was a hard worker. He was coaching his daughter. He was doing all types of good things for people. He was helping other NBA players that were coming in. He said himself he used to be caught up in that GOAT. My friend, I gotta be the greatest of all time. Then he started to realize that's fickle, man. My job is to inspire the other players, to lead the game better than where I found it, and to help these other players. Yeah, Curry is inspirational as well. That's Kobe's legacy. How many dudes? Kevin Durant tell you how great Kobe is. SGA tell you how great Kobe is. It's so many players because he touched so many players. He paid for what Jordan did for him. Jordan took him under his wing, and he went and took a lot of other players under his wing and showed them the game. It's countless players. Jason Tatum, Kyrie Irving. It's a lot of dudes. Kyrie Irving, the same dude that hit that three-point shot. He's still a champion. Kyrie won a championship. He was a major part to that championship. It ain't just LeBron. Kyrie deserves his flowers too. Hit that shot dead in Curry's face. That was Kobe. That was Kobe. And these guys should do the same. You want to teach the next generation as well how to be professional, how to be players, different angles and things that you learned from the game. As players get older, yeah, they do. Tom Brady said he saw the game differently. Jordan, they all knew how to win. It's just, can the body do what the mind is thinking? That's what I'll be learning from sports. I look at sports and I apply it to life. I look at it and say, what can you learn? What can you learn from these different scenarios? Yeah, Brady grew up watching Joe Cool. And a lot of dudes say that Tom Brady did a lot for them, even though he didn't appreciate it. Antonio Brown, nobody wanted this guy. And Tom Brady said, bring him here. I will make him a champion. And Antonio Brown got a ring thanks to Tom Brady. And he paid him back by taking off his shirt, throwing it in the stands, and walking off the field. And now he got CTE account, CTE ESPN, Twitter, making fun of everybody. Some people can't be helped. That's another thing I learned too. You just watch these stories unfold. Some people, no matter what you do, they gonna be who they are. You know, Antonio Brown could have had the greatest redemption story. He could have went out on top and would have been remembered differently. All that stuff with the Steelers, all that stuff with the Raiders would have been forgotten. But he did not. He went out with a bang, with the wrong bang. We all have choices. God give us chance after chance after chance after chance after chance. It's up to us what we do with those chances. Kobe went on to win 2 more championships, go to 3 more finals when he got his second chance. And our mistakes don't define us. It's what we do after we make those mistakes. Even though we talk about LeBron, at the end of the day, after that 2011 debacle, he came back better than ever. 2012, 2013, 2012, boy, it's like it woke him up. I can't just get these guys on my team and it is easy work. He can't do that. He had to understand that. I'm not going to just win 8 championships. It's easy work. It's not easy winning a championship. He had to get that reality check. I'm sitting there making fun of Dirk Nowitzki. He had to get that reality check. Dirk gave him that reality check. And you saw a difference in his game. He had to be humbled. And humility and confidence go hand in hand. Humility don't mean putting your head down like, yeah, man, I'm nothing. I'm nobody. Everybody's just better than me. You know. Yeah, Dwayne Wade was humble. Dwayne Wade cared more about winning than about just his legacy. Because at the end of the day, you're gonna be remembered. If he could see the future, he'd be like, man, it don't matter what I do anyway. A future generation can just shit on everything I do. Because Giannis can go back in the 70s and score 250 points. So, like, bruh, it doesn't matter. What matters about your own self, where you submit your own self. Dwayne Wade is even though he be doing some wild stuff sometimes, I wouldn't say it's not villainous. It's not evil, but he do some things sometimes. But at the end of the day, he's respected. Like, you look at his NBA career, what he did for LeBron, what he did for LeBron mentally, what he did for LeBron as a friend, what he did, that can never be erased from the history books. That he sat there and took a step back. Even when you watch this interview, this is what I mean, like, just having that humility. Even when you look, yeah, Wade made him a champion. He said, yo, dog, this is your team. Yo, dog, we need you. He helped LeBron mentally. Go out there and do your thing. I'll take a step back. We're not gonna fight over who team this is. We're not gonna fight and let our egos bump. I will step back. And he deserves his respect for that. Does that make him less of a player? It doesn't. Anybody that's an NBA fan knows what that takes. Because we know Wade is an alpha. For the best term you can use. We know but he's also knows how to do what needs to be done. He saw what happened with Shaq and Kobe. He saw that Shaq said, hey, Wade, this is yours. And he's like, it's my turn. Wade did know that. And he said, and as we know, there's only one ball on that basketball court, and it's 10 guys on the floor, 5 on each team. And he's like, in order for us to win, I'm gonna let my brother shine. Cause you gotta take us there though. And I come through and do my thing when I need to. That was the only way they was gonna win. Cause they couldn't be bumping heads. And he saw how it affected LeBron in 2011. Wade did his thing in 2011, but LeBron had disappeared. You cannot have that. You cannot have that happen. We're not gonna win. We need you to be. And there's certain guys that they get disengaged if a system don't run a certain way. They become disengaged, no matter how talented they are, because the Heat was the favorite, and they could have won. They should have won. They had the talent to do it, but he was disengaged. People that watch that series, he was disengaged. You can't be. Wade was like, what does it take? You got to know people's psychology. That's why Pippen and Jordan complimented each other so well, because they were different. And their egos didn't bump. Even though Pippen, we see clearly he has an ego. Everybody got one. If you in the NBA, you going to have an ego. You in the basket, you're the NBA. You're there for a reason. You're one of the best players on the planet. But how your egos collide with somebody else? Are y'all able to work together? Jordan and Pippen complimented each other. Magic and Kareem complimented each other. Kobe and Shaq bumped heads. But on that court, they complimented each other as long as they could. Because they should have won in 2004. Yeah, 2004. But Kobe went out there and, you know, their egos was bumping heads and all this other stuff, all that mess that was behind that. And LeBron had the nerve to talk down on that team during that finals. Yes, yes, because he cannot. LeBron is in love with the ideal of himself. I was talking about this. The difference between self-love and narcissism. You know, narcissists are in love with the ideal version of themselves, the version of themselves they have in their heads, whether it meets reality or not. When you love yourself, you accept your flaws and all. You can accept everything, the good, the bad, the ugly, about your own self, and you just accept it. You accept that. You accept the things that you need to work on. You accept that you need help from others. You accept. The realist, I'm starting to think you don't like LeBron. Most people, a lot of people don't. Said that they didn't have enough complimentary food on that team. Yeah, he said they ain't have enough complimentary players. No, dude, you played bad. You guys could have won that series. You were up 2-1. It's not the first 2-1 lead you blew either. You blew 2-1 lead against the Golden State Warriors. Golden State Warriors blew 3-1. Like, he has to acknowledge I didn't need the Heat. I didn't need the Heat. That's your boyfriend. What's up, Dorillas? Oh man. It's crazy to me because I don't understand why people think that it's a knock on your career to need people. It's not. I really did that. It is not. We all need people, man. I'm not in competition with my wife. I'm not. I'm not going to compete with her. I want her to succeed. I want her to be great in what she does. It's not a competition in our household on who does what, who does the most, who no, that doesn't matter to me. I'm not here to compete. We both play a significant role. We both have our strengths and our weaknesses. That's life. You need people. I call on my pops. I call on my dad. I call on my mom. I call my grandma. I call different people, man. You're gonna always need people. What's good, the realists? I call on these different people, man, for the rest of my life. And if nothing else, I need God. It's what you do with the people you have. Yes. You make the best of whatever situation you find yourself in. And you let the chips fall where they may. You can always make, he's like, I maximized everything in Cleveland. I knew I couldn't get any further with that team. That's why I left. And I'm like, cool. At least you acknowledge that. But they were still great teammates. You wasn't doing it. You wasn't playing by yourself. How come you had your best record with that team? When you had more talent around you, you never reached that 66 win mark again with better talent. So how sorry were those dudes? They weren't sorry. They all could play. It's just the system they played in. And then people forget all the circumstances that happened around that. Well, when he left those teams, they went in the gutter. He didn't just lose them. They lost other players. I'm sorry for knowing though. That's my man, Imagino. But he cool. Everything. I'm glad that y'all are here in the live. Y'all listening. Y'all showing love, engaging. I don't knock LeBron for needing help. I knock how he revises history. He doesn't acknowledge the help that he got or his fan base. Yes, you needed those guys. And yes, those teams got worse when he left because they just didn't lose them. Shaq, Anton Jameson, it was other players that left. When he left the Miami Heat, Dwayne Wade was hurt and Chris Bosh had blood clots in his lungs. Revising history. It's so many other circumstances that happened. The year after that, they was trying to tank. Now look at where the Cleveland Cavaliers are. One of the best teams in the league. So people gotta understand, man. Like, and then you beat 2 500 teams. He talks about that finals run. You beat 2 500 teams. Then you went. LeBron wanted a relationship with MJ that he gave Kobe. I think MJ would have been open to it if LeBron carried himself differently. I think MJ would have been cool with it. Oh, he's just, he don't do that because I played in the league. Kobe was playing in the league. What are you talking about? It has nothing to do with because you playing in the league. It has everything to do with your attitude. It's how you carry yourself. How you carry yourself matters. People